Hey, welcome back to the Touch Station podcast. There's only two of us. It is just the two. The rule of two. For this episode. But there is a lot to discuss. It probably won't all be discussed in this episode.
No, there's way too much to talk
We have
about.
been given a just plate full of content. So hopefully, I will be putting out more stuff in regards to Star Wars Celebration. Also, they're not coming back next year. It's gonna be in 2025 in Japan. I'm freaking
Tokyo, right?
yeah, Tokyo, bro. Let's go to Tokyo next year or in 2025. I'm down.
That'd be so sick.
I don't know why they're not doing it yearly, but probably for the movie because the movie's coming out in 2025. So,
Yeah.
but anyways,
knows?
the biggest thing with the celebration was the Ahsoka trailer, and my God, the more and more leaks and rumors I was hearing about the show, and I was just biting my tongue and just, this probably, it's too good to be true. There's no way. And I saw the trailer, and now I'm fully sold. I think this is the one thing that is going to smack.
Sorry, did you say you were sold on a Star Wars Disney project?
Yeah, I know.
Before it comes out.
I'm probably gonna eat my words after the first episode
Who
where
are
it's
you?
they show everybody but
have you
Ahsoka. I don't know, but that
What you
trailer,
doing?
man. I mean, okay, so we got they give us a little bit of everything. First of all, live action, all the Rebels characters in live action, just amazing. Sabine,
Yeah, they were very,
the
very
wa-
well done.
the war criminal-
I dig Sabine with long hair.
the war criminal Chopper himself,
Sarah looks great.
and Hera, and two new characters that we've been introduced. Balin and I forget the other. I forget
It
the.
starts with an S. I think her name starts with an S.
Their last names though are Skull and Hati, which is interesting, because that's a little mythology there. That's in God of War, but and they're wielding orange lightsabers. Now Dave Filoni did a good breakdown. I'll probably, if I could find the video, I'll probably.
Yeah, you gotta find it. I did see that breakdown where it's like, they represent something that they're not, or something along those lines.
They represent something you think they're like, whatever you think of them, that's more than likely what they aren't. Which is because I originally thought they were like Inquisitors, and then I was like, why do the lightsabers look a little weird? And then I'm like, oh wait, maybe that's because it's not a freaking red lightsaber.
But also they are former Jedi.
That too.
Yeah, she's Balin is of course the former master, and then the younger chick is his former Padawan, or still Padawan, I guess.
And also, I mean, I guess it's a nod to the original trilogy because, like, the original trilogy, the Vader's lightsaber would kind of fluctuate between like orange and like
Yeah,
red. So I thought that was kind of cool.
nice nod to past history. Oh, also, did you hear this?
I have the quote right here. What's that?
Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, is returning to theaters on April 28th.
Bro, that's insane. I'm gonna try to go. I don't know if I'm gonna go on the 28th. It was through the 28th through the 4th, I think I saw.
I believe so.
So if I can't go, because that's the day Jedi Survivor comes out.
Yeah.
So that's gonna conflict, but
it's a limited release, of course, and right now the only place in California, or at least in LA, is in frickin' Cerritos, which is an hour and a half away. But
I don't know where
they'll probably release it in more locations.
I'm gonna have to look where they're releasing it in my area. But the quote. So I made the lightsabers a little bit more orange. It was a really good eye. You're the first person to catch that, which I don't know if that's true. I think there was a bunch of people online. That was very intentional. I didn't make him just a stark red. I remember as a kid, Vader's lightsaber kind of fluctuated from visual effects being a little bit more orange. I didn't want to go straight up orange, but it's definitely a little bit of something to kids. They might not straight up be what you think they are in the beginning. It's good you caught that. Nothing is accidental. Okay, so, I mean, they're like fallen Jedi, dark Jedi, whatever you want to call them. I at first I wondered if maybe they were like pulled from like the World Between Worlds, because I really hope the World Between Worlds isn't what we think it's gonna be with time travel and all that stuff. But I'm just laughing at the people.
They do fight in the World Between Worlds. I'm pretty sure that duel scene is there in the
Yes.
World Between Worlds.
I'm just laughing at all the people that said, this is how they're going to get back at Kathleen Kennedy. They're going to retcon the sequels by going into the World Between Worlds and just pretend none of that stuff never happened. How does that look? How's that looking? Not because last I checked, they're doubling down on the sequels because we're getting a Rey movie. We are in fact getting a Rey movie.
I like Daisy Ridley. As a person, I like Daisy Ridley as a person and actress. So I like the fact that she's been potentially given the opportunity to redeem herself with hopefully a better script, better writing, etc., etc. However, I'm not quite sure what I think about a movie with Rey founding the new Jedi Order. I said this in our group chat, so I'll say it again right now. Rey can have her own things. Rey can be great. Rey can do, build things as a character. Rey can have her own special stuff. Don't take it away from Luke Skywalker, though. Like, everything that Luke Skywalker has done in Legends was appropriated for Rey in the new canon. And I highly dislike that because it takes away from Luke's awesomeness and it takes away from Luke's greatness and takes away from all the things that we know and love about Luke Skywalker. And it feels like he's just there, he was just chilling, doing absolutely nothing, during this 30-year time span between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens.
It also feels like that in the Ahsoka trailer, they name-dropped Heir to the Empire. I just kind of feel like they're taking Heir to the Empire and then they're just swapping out Luke for Ahsoka, which is also kind of concerning.
I don't like that either.
I feel like Luke has to be involved some way, and I don't know why a lot of people.
Because I think there's a spoiler. So not a spoiler, but a report that said Luke is featured heavily in the Ahsoka series.
He has to be. I don't know why people were pressed at that whole Heir to the Empire. Oh, why do you need Luke in everything? Why does Luke have to be? Well, if you've read the books, I have not read Heir to the Empire, but that's the original 7, 8, 9. Aside from George's Darth Maul coming back, that was also another thing. But 7, 8, 9.
That was a better trilogy sequence than what we got.
So
I will die on my sword on that.
Anybody questioning why does Luke need to be? Because I don't know, maybe because he was the guy who took down the Death Star and redeemed his father and put the Emperor down a shaft. So I don't know. Just he seems like an important character, but it's okay. They want to make a Rey movie. They want to double down on the sequels. I just think it's a stupid idea. I don't know. I'm not saying I don't want them to make the movie. Yes, they could definitely redeem her character, but it just seems a little too soon. I don't know. I probably would have just rather them move on.
I want Finn to be a Jedi. I don't care.
I would have rather them bring him back, but he won't come back, which is fine. He is, he can make that decision, and I'm sure he feels unjust.
I need them to find a way. I need them to find a way to get him to return, because we were hoodwinked, we were bamboozled, we were led astray, we were run amok, we were flat out deceived. And I will not rest until I get another Black Jedi. Kelleran Beck was a good start. However, he was in one episode in Gift. I will not rest until I have justice.
You heard it here first from the man himself. That's another thing too. We missed a few episodes of The Mandalorian since our last podcast, and oh boy,
did we?
Oh boy, this has been.
I would just like to say, while we're recording, I'm always right. Stop playing with me. I told you to wait. I told you it would pay off, and lo and behold.
See, Andor is a slow burn type of thing. That's the slow burn style type of show. Mandalorian, this wasn't a slow burn. It was just a garbage episode where it did not need to be placed. I'm not talking about this week. This week's episode was 10 out of 10. Maybe 10 out of 10. Sure, why not? But the week before with freaking Lizzo and Jack Black, it did not need to be there. No. And then people were saying, well, maybe in episode 2 or 3. And even then, We didn't need that episode at all. What did we establish? Oh, that there's still spies and there's still people who are working for the separatists. Like, okay, that's really not going to go anywhere. It never went anywhere, as we've seen from the sequel trilogy. It was the New Republic being so utterly goofy
Competent.
and beyond incompetent, making our American government look like a joke, and just basically they all get duped. And then we have here's the thing. Moff Gideon, I really want to like him. Like, I do like him. He's a badass character, but I just feel like, especially in this episode when he was mocking Thrawn too, about like, oh, where's he been? Like, I've been over here. We've been over here doing this, this, and that, and I've heard about Thrawn and his return, but it has yet to happen. Like, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about the new Empire as well. I'm a little... I don't know. I feel like they're not any smarter than the New Republic at the moment. I mean, we have Thrawn, obviously. He's stuck in the New Beyond with Ezra, and it's just, I feel like after that, it's just they're all kind of just sitting around waiting, and I know they're waiting for... they need to get rid of the Mandalorians in order to move on with their plan, because as mentioned in the most recent episode, having the Mandalorians stick around any longer will sort of hinder their growth, and Moff Gideon, I guess, has a plan to deal with them. He has Beskar. He just got Beskar armor out of nowhere, which is kind of like, I thought Beskar was this rare piece of material that it takes like ages to mine, or it's wicked hard to obtain, but now I guess everybody has it, which is cool.
Yeah, it was very. It cheapened the idea of Beskar, and it cheapened the idea of like, oh yeah, this is like super tough, and like this is like some, super alloy, super metal that like it's a big deal when you have it, and suddenly every single now he has enough to make like NPCs.
Literally.
NPCs. They're not even like important characters. A bunch of NPCs of Beskar armor.
And not only that, I thought it's clearly not valuable to the Mandalorians, because they were just, before they moved into Greef Karga's thing, like area or of land, they were just sitting like on the edge of like this beach area, and then they're just getting attacked by all these giant like creatures, and then in one episode the kid gets taken away and they're like, oh yeah, that happens all the time, and it's like, what, you guys you just gotta let it happen? And it's like they take the jetpacks and then they go off and they're like, oh, we ran out of fuel. Like, do you guys, like, are you guys just like, what are you, stupid? Like, it was after that episode,
because they didn't have the ship. Like, that particular group of Mandalorians did not have the equipment to go after a creature like
it just then,
like, they needed a ship.
then I don't know why they stayed in that same area. It just, the whole thing it made him feel so stupid and just like, oh my god, I hope you all die. Like,
no, it's supposed to make them feel backwards, which is like, I mean, that's kind of what the show at least has like been partially implying.
yeah,
There is that the Children of the Watch are a very backwards society, and like they need to get it together.
yeah, and they're trying to.
Yeah, but they're also trying to, like, the Armorer's willingness to allow Bo-Katan, who, as I guess the future Mandalore, to, move without her helmet in order to appease her old clanmates and mercenary mates, is a huge step forward, and it represents an evolution in the Mandalorian culture, which I really like. Like, I rock with that. But at the same time, their adherence to tradition and like, oh, we have to do things this way because this is the way we've done it for thousands of years, et cetera, like, very annoying. Very annoying at times.
I also wonder about the armor. Like, she was acting kind of sus towards the end of that episode, but
I'm not like, yeah, I thought about it too, but then I'm just like, I don't think that the Armorer of all people would be a double agent. Like, I think that's because Disney, normally they lead us into these things, and like you can see you can see it coming, kind of, right? Like all of this, all of these, like, betrayals or whatever, you could kind of see coming, like the lieutenant's, yeah, the lieutenant's betrayal, of the lieutenant still like being with Moff Gideon or whatever, being on Moff Gideon's side. You can kind of see that,
Yeah.
with just the way she was acting, even before it became like supremely obvious when she killed off the scientist. So I feel like Disney kind of dumbs down these twists in its shows and movies, because it's like they don't entirely need their audience to be cognitively thinking about the movie. They just, or the show, they want them to enjoy it. And then, like, there's the few diehards that will like correctly dissect certain things, but like the show is not built for the diehards. The show is built for mass market consumption, and like I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but what I am saying is that, like, oh, like, if it's not objectively obvious, it's probably not going to happen.
Well, it's built for mass market consumption when I mean, Grogu isn't supposed to be in the show in this series at all, or in this season at all. I mean, you could see it in the writing. He's done absolutely nothing,
He's
and
done zero.
they
He's
just
done zero.
forced him. They shoehorn him in just because they're worried about sales and losing that audience of white girls. That's like, aha, Baby Yoda, make funny noise, aha, like I don't.
That's so crazy. That's
I
wildly disrespectful to your own race.
they,
You gonna get crucified, my boy.
I've been crucified for worse. It's okay. So like I just don't get like there's too much. I want to know what the original plan was, and then for them to just
Just like,
double down
yeah.
on it and be like, oh, he was with Luke for like 2 years. Like I don't like no like something clearly. This is clearly like
I mean, he
Kathleen Kennedy
obviously, yeah.
like
I mean,
worrying
if he was
about.
with Luke for 2 years, like, it works kind of, I guess, because he
Even
can
then, if
use
he
the
was with Luke,
Force much better.
He clearly didn't learn much because he hasn't been doing anything, and now he's in a mech suit. Like this, like I don't. They just put him in there just so they can give him instead of him actually learning how to communicate and like be able to speak. They just we need him to be able to do something, and we can't just have somebody. We can't have him get captured again because he's already done that trope once. We can't have him just walk around because he's not fast enough. So we're just gonna put him in an IG-11 droid and have him say yes a bunch of times. Like as soon as I saw them pull the droid out, I just knew how annoying it was gonna. Like I felt like Din, where he was like, "This isn't gonna work." Like I just don't. It's just annoying. Like
It was kind of cute. It was kind of
it was
cute.
cute for like a solid 2.5 seconds, and then I was like, "I'm over this."
Well, that might be your cynicism shining through, big dog. But
Maybe
we'll agree to disagree.
I can only be positive for so long, and then the cynicism
Yeah, 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 yeah. You have like a
seeps
set
through.
time limit where you
Yeah.
like, once you fulfill your quota, it's all downhill from there.
The yes, the toxic positivity
Darth
is like a
Sinis. That's your Sith name. If you ever, like, do you have a lightsaber?
Yes, I do, but it's dead. It needs to be
Okay.
charged. I have to go charge my kyber crystal.
Okay. Well, if you ever decide to like become a cosplayer or whatever, your Sith name is Darth Sinis, and I will not be hearing otherwise.
I accept that. I accept that. You will write me in your Star Wars.
Yep.
Logo.
Oh yeah, yeah. No. Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Yeah. The novels or screenplays or TV shows that I'm writing, once I finally work for Disney, one Star Wars, I will absolutely like write in Darth Sinis.
And I will be taken down by the most positive,
Like, literally,
overly
you're gonna
powered.
be taken down by
Mary Sue.
a descendant or an ancestor of Rose Tico.
Yeah.
we save what. Wait. We defeat the Empire not by destroying what we hate, but by saving what we love.
Yep. And then that just makes me brittle and old, and then I look like Episode 9 Palpatine on fucking life support.
That made me internally vomit when I heard that in the movie theaters.
David,
I was like, "There's no way you decided that this was a good thing to put in a script."
David to cynicism. What could you give me? Everything.
Seriously.
Oh man, but so the three movies that were
Long
announced,
have
yeah.
I waited.
Somehow the cynicism has returned. So the three movies that were announced, we have the Ray movie, which is the first movie coming out, because of course,
Hmm.
and we have the movie that I'm interested in the most is not the Dave Filoni movie. It's actually the movie that is set before, like it's like the beginning of,
Dawn of the Jedi.
yeah, Dawn of the Jedi. Thank you. It's literally
Mm.
like right before everything, and it's the director of Logan, who's working on that, which
Mm.
is a really good choice. I feel like for once they made a good freaking choice for a director. Um, and I have a okay question. Or if you were to place a bet, what movie do you think is going to get canceled, hashed, or split into a show first? Do you think it's going to be Dawn of the Jedi, this Mandoverse movie, or the Rey movie?
Dawn of the Jedi.
You think it's going to be Dawn of the Jedi?
I think Dawn of the Jedi has a higher chance of getting split into a TV series, like
Fair.
Kenobi was.
Yes.
I think that the Ray movie has a higher chance of getting delayed. But I think that come hell or high water, that Mandoverse movie is getting released no matter what.
Oh, no matter. It's going to be like it's going to get released originally, and it's going to suck, and then there's going to be like a Dave Filoni cut, and it's like going to be the greatest thing ever. It's
Please
going to be
don't
like
speak that into existence. Stop, 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 stop.
what?
Hey, I look, Dot Sinis, I need
No,
you
I'm just
to take
saying
a deep breath
because of
and not speak that madness into existence.
everything going on behind the scenes with Pedro Pascal being a total see you next Tuesday and friggin' corporate getting too involved. I just don't think the movie I just don't know how the movie's gonna go. And if anything, we also learned that Dave Filoni got his directing I guess you could say teachings by none other than Ryan Johnson. So
I don't. But here's the thing, though. I don't think Dave Filoni is going to screw it up that much.
I don't think so either. I
Like
just
like like Ryan Johnson did the best with what he was given, because at the end of the day, he was basically told, um, salvage this.
and like so is it gonna be all the shows? So like Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Andor, Skeleton Crew, like all these shows are just gonna come back into
No,
one big
Andor
movie?
absolutely not.
No?
Andor has no bearing on this.
Okay, because
Skeleton Crew, I
everybody's
also doubt will have, and Skeleton Crew and Acolyte also will have no bearing on it. Like I really think it's just going to be Boba Fett, Mando, Ahsoka. Those are going to be the three movies that have, that have a bearing on what happens in this Mandoverse movie. So depending on who lives and who dies at the end of Mandalorian,
it is acceptable.
um,
Why is my Discord?
yeah, depending on who lives or who dies at the end of Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett's not getting a second season, so we already know we're going to see both Fennec
Are you
and
sure about
Boba.
that?
I really hope it's not. Look, I'm speaking that into existence. Okay,
You
it doesn't
want
need
it
a
to, or
second
do you
season.
not want it to?
I don't want it to get a second season.
Do you want
It
Kenobi to get
doesn't
a
need a
second
second season.
season?
I don't think. See, here's the thing: Kenobi getting a second season only makes sense if they follow that series of that book series where Obi-Wan Kenobi um, and Ferris Olin from Legends, like they went around, they made a network for fleeing Jedi that were like trying to escape Vader and the Inquisitors and all that stuff. Like that's the only way it makes sense.
So
Where
you're
Obi
saying
Wan tries to help out Jedi who are like fleeing on that path that
they can't do
that
that?
he was trying to smuggle Leia out on.
They'd have to use source material. They can't use source material. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's why I said it doesn't make any sense, and I don't want to get a second season. Like you and I love you, but unless you can convince them to use source material, give it a rest, my brother in Christ.
I remember when they I remember when there were all these rumors of all these major characters showing up in
And
Andor,
none of
and
them showed up.
then none of them showed up. And we got what we got. Maybe that's happening in season 2 because I would love for Ewan to make a cameo in Andor. I don't
We
know.
got
Like
Mon
I
Mothma.
want to see more Ewan, man.
And
I want to see
honestly,
more Ewan. I want to see more Hayden. Like bring it on. I don't care what it's in. I don't care if it's in Ahsoka. I don't care if it's in Andor. I don't care if it's in Kenobi season 2. Just give me more.
he's definitely in Ahsoka. He's definitely in Ahsoka.
Hayden.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
definitely going to be in Ahsoka.
Yes,
World
of
Between
course.
Worlds.
I
There's
know.
probably going to be a variant in the World Between Worlds where Ahsoka is the
Give me
one
this.
fighting
Give me this.
Anakin, and
There's
it's
also
not
going to be
Obi-Wan.
a variant of Ahsoka and Luke. You know that.
Don't you? I hate you. If I, ooh, if you were in front of me right now, I would be punching you right in your face. That's the crazy. Do you understand how much I hate that? Like, do you understand? Like, I hate that.
Oh, people are
I
wishing it into
hate that.
existence. I'm not. I just
I
think
think
it's funny.
I
Some
think I hate that even. Like, literally, the incest is the only thing that's worse than that.
listen. Some men just want to watch the world burn. Okay.
Yeah, and half of our Star Wars fandom are those men.
I am necessary evil. I am
No,
necessary
you're not.
cynicism. Okay.
You I mean, honestly, I'll take your cynicism over people wishing that into existence,
Oh, man, but
and people being mad that Star Wars Twitter is the worst place on the planet Earth,
bro,
bro.
Twitter's the worst place on earth. Are you kidding me? Now you have to pay to be verified. I'm all set.
Elon Musk is not him.
Grand Admiral Musk.
He's
Did you
not
guys?
him.
I don't know. So they also showed that extended trailer, and I gotta say, I don't know why people be hating on my boy Elon. I think he looks fine.
No, they really do.
I think he looks fine. And the Acolyte trailer too. I watched it. Man, I it looks good. I think it's what we need along with Ahsoka. Like I think it's actually going to give some grounded like Jedi Sith story. And this time it's actually being told from the perspective of the bad guys. Oh my gosh. It's like we've been asking that for so long. And I remember watching the interview, and the director was basically talking about how it's like, how do we get the Jedi from where they are now at this point to how they end up in Lucas's universe with the Phantom Menace. And he said a lot about she said a lot about George's universe and how this was her original idea, and she pitched it originally to Kathleen. So I urge you to watch the interview if you haven't watched it yet. I am excited for
I
the
will
show.
send it to me. Yeah,
I'll have to find it, but I'm excited. And we also got a few more gameplay trailers for uh, Jedi Survivor, which just looks better and better each time. And we also get one of those friggin' things from the Clone Wars, 2D Clone Wars, 2003 Clone Wars. What were those things called again, Seon? The purple dung. What were those things called? Things that can't die that we wanted to fight.
Gendai.
The Dengai? Gendai? Dengai? Gendai. Okay.
Gendai.
The one of those, I don't know how it's gonna.
No, because I really think that's very interesting. Like, first of all, it's a great callback to the Clone Wars.
Oh, for sure.
But secondly, like, I really think that an unkillable boss in a boss fight, when your goal is kind of to kill the boss, especially in Star Wars, right? Because your boss fights are really against, like, when you're fighting Inquisitors, you're basically you kind of know, like, okay, I'm going to kill this person. When you're fighting bounty hunters, they're like, okay, either I'm going to escape, or I'm going to, or I'm going to kill this person. You don't have, with a Gendai, like, they just keep coming.
They just it's.
So what's your option there? You can't outlast the Gendai.
I'd be curious just to see what the mechanic for that is going to be like. That's going to be fun. And
we saw the screenshot where, like, you cut his limb off and, like, it literally regrows, and it looks like it's regrowing in real time.
It does grow in real time, I think. But
that's so sick.
I was hoping we'd get announcements for these new Star Wars games in development, like Eclipse. Or this first-person shooter that's being developed by Respawn. Everybody's saying it's Battlefront 3. There was a big data leak regarding Battlefront. They're saying it was going to be Battlefront 3 and it was going to be Old Republic.
Yeah.
But
I heard that too.
I then heard that was false, so I don't know. I don't know for sure what our next game... Because after Jedi Survivor, I really don't think we're getting any new Star Wars games for a while, which is fine. I mean, I don't need them to be released, like, I don't
I
need
don't.
them to
Yeah, I don't
pump it
need a new
out.
Star Wars
I,
game every
I
year.
don't need them to pump it out like
I
Call of
would.
Duty. I'm all set with that. But I mean,
Yeah, no,
we
because
at
the last
least
three
need.
Call of Duties, the last couple Call of Duties were misses.
They've they've been
At least,
missing fairly
at least
hard.
before the Modern Warfare remasters, they
I'm just
were
looking
whew,
for. I had notes
sketchy.
and I do not know where they are. Cool. Um, but so I'm excited to play that. That comes out in less than I think like 2 weeks. So whoop de freaking do.
hmm
I'm excited.
I have to figure out how I'm gonna get a an Xbox S before that time
You're gonna
period
have to
because I
work
really
every
want to
single day since you're gonna have to work like every single day up
literally
until then, and then just take like a month off.
literally no because like here's the thing I'm yeah I gotta find a well paying summer job and then save up enough to get it myself.
Ah, here we go. Here are the notes. Um,
Yep.
oh, these were from so yeah, the Ahsoka rumors. So before Celebration, I was reading all these rumors about how Ezra has basically been in this new Beyond with Thrawn, and he doesn't have a lightsaber, and so he's basically had to go all Kamehameha, and he's learned Kung Fu with the Force, which is kind of cool.
Mm,
And he's learned some new Dragon Ball moves, Street Fighter moves, which
that's so crazy.
I am here for, because I think it'd be cool to see like a different new style of combat that we really haven't seen, aside from just hacking and slashing lightsabers. Um, Also got Steve Knight. Okay, so the director of probably the best show of all time is writing. I don't know what movie it is that he's writing. I think he's writing the movie. Well, first of all, Steve Knight, director of Peaky Blinders, best show of all time.
Hmm.
He's writing the
Great show.
one of the new Star Wars movies that was reportedly being written by Damon Lindelof, who left the project. Um, so I wonder. First of all, I kind of have a feeling as to why they left. It's just a little nugget, a little brown check mark source.
Hmm.
The scripts were
I'm listening.
completely redone, rewritten, basically turned upside down, and
Oh yeah, that's why Blade is having so much trouble too. I'm pretty sure.
they wanted none of it, so they left. And now Steven Knight's coming in to reportedly fix. And
Fixed it.
I feel like writers in a lot of critics' mind don't get enough flack. I mean, people say, "Oh, the writing was terrible," but then they just immediately go to the director, like The Last Jedi.
Hmm.
"Oh, the writing was terrible," but Ryan Johnson's terrible unless he wrote and directed it. But like,
He most definitely did not. Again, he did the best with what he could. Because at the end of the day, like you know, I, at the end of the day, what was he supposed to do? He was supposed to follow up a carbon copy of Episode 4 with what exactly?
Lord knows.
And it was
And
very clear.
he
It was very clear that like I if the reports about how much corporate interfered with Rise of Skywalker are true, you can only imagine how shoehorned a lot of Last Jedi was. I
I
mean, the
found
whole
out.
Rose and
Okay.
Finn thing,
Yes,
the whole Rose and Finn thing. Are you kidding me?
he is
Like
writing.
no, like Kate, like Amy, I forget her name. Gosh,
Who?
oh gosh, the actress for Rose Tico. I keep forgetting her
I don't
name,
know.
and I feel terrible because like she was absolutely bullied relentlessly for no reason aside from the fact that her
Yeah.
character was poorly written.
So
Like she
was
didn't deserve that.
so was On the
Kellyanne,
Best. So was Hayden
yeah,
Christensen. Like
and on the
all these
best,
people are
like
bullied.
both of them, like literally all of them are bullied relentlessly for horribly written characters. When like what are they supposed to do? Like they did the best with what they were given. So what like I this fandom, man, this fandom
Bro,
concerns me.
Star Wars has always had wacky scripts. I mean, what's his name?
It's like literally George Lucas can't write to save his
Alec
life.
Guinness literally told a fan who wanted his autograph to not see the movie because the script was terrible. He was like, "Yeah, don't go see it.
George
Movie
Lucas
sucks." Like
George Lucas can't write to save his life, but
the writing's always been terrible.
he,
But I
he,
did find okay. So Peaky Blinders creator Stephen Knight is set to write the screenplay for the untitled Star Wars movie that Charmin Obaid Chinoy is attached to direct, which is the Ray movie. So he is writing the sequel to um,
The sequels.
the sequels. He's writing the sequel to the Skywalker saga.
I feel
Do
slightly better.
do I?
But I also want to point out that like
I
Disney said
feel
they were
better.
done with the
I feel
Skywalker
better if
saga.
he's actually the one writing it, because you have writers who write their script and then they get completely redone, and then they publish it and it's their writing, even though it was redone by executives in corporate to make it, better, or what in their eyes better, whatever they deem better. So I
I'd like to point out though that uh Disney said that they were done with the Skywalker saga, and look what they've done now.
they pulled the wool over your eyes. No, they didn't. Of course, I knew they were going to do that. And then
They
they're
did. We
going to
didn't
say
believe that.
they're going to say this is a standoff. This is not a. I wanted them to go further, like 15 years. That's not far enough. 50 years isn't far enough. Go like 100. Go 1,000 years further beyond. We don't need to connect
Plus Ultra.
to the Skywalker saga anymore. Unpopular opinion, I know. God forbid. Oh, you can't. You can have shows like Ahsoka and things like Andor that give it more depth, but you constantly don't need to be making shows that have to worry about being connected to the Skywalker saga.
Continuity.
There's just so much more, and they have so many other things that they could go and work on. I don't know. I saw a TikTok this morning. Why don't we continue the story with Darth Maul and his apprentice Kira? Um, in Solo with that whole dialogue, like that hasn't been explored. Why don't we explore that? Like,
Because Solo bombed.
and because they
That's
didn't deep fake. If they deep faked Harrison Ford, the movie would have been better. No, maybe if you didn't release the movie after probably one of the worst movies you've ever created, there wouldn't be an issue. But also, it's Solo. It's not Luke Skywalker. I think if you released a Luke Skywalker movie after that, or if you released a Kenobi movie after The Last Jedi, I think you would have gotten a better reception. But that's just me.
yeah.
So,
No,
overall, if I were to
you're entirely right.
if I were to rate Star Wars Celebration, we didn't get anything like surprising other than
Groundbreaking.
Lars Mikkelsen coming back as Thrawn, which I think we already kind of discussed and kind of thought was
We
happening.
had hoped that the rumors were true.
We talked about it on the last podcast, I think, but
We had hoped the rumors were true.
I mean, I finally watched. Hayden Christensen was brought up to the panel. And he was just overcome with emotion, and so was Dave Filoni. That was nice to see. Dave Filoni overcome with emotion. Hayden Christensen overcome with emotion too. Very nice to see. These interviewers, man, they suck. I'm sorry. They just ask the same questions every year, and it's just they were asking. I forget what they asked Hayden, but they were like, "What's the line you've been told the most?" And then everybody's like, "High ground." Like it's the same stuff we see all the time. And Hayden even, God forbid, he gets on the mic and he breathes before he even says something. The crowd just whoa, like let the man speak, please. I'm there to listen to what he has to say, not to what all you fanboys want to say to him. Just let the man speak. God, maybe they shouldn't stream these online anymore because it just friggin' aggravates me.
Maybe. I think that's a good idea. But also, I want to take it back a little bit.
Take it back now.
I want to take it back a little bit. So we talked about Mandalorian.
Yes.
I honestly have a theory where I think, you know what? I really thought about it as we were discussing. I think the armorer left for a reason. I think you might be right. The armorer is an op. I think that maybe Disney is going the round of, oh yeah, you're not going to see it coming. Like I really do think the armorer might be like the ops. So I think she's just trying to get rid of all the the non-Children of the Watch Mandalorians. I'd be happy to be proven wrong, but I really do think she's the ops. Yeah, I think that maybe because of this betrayal, Din is gonna be like, oh, everything was a lie, the you were never, like everything I known was a lie, like, maybe I shouldn't be concealing my face all the time, whatever, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Like maybe it just represents a shift in his ideology because he's very I mean, he is comfortable in who he is now, or but like he's not comfortable because the dark saber still he couldn't use it properly because it still sensed his indecision on things.
That's another thing too.
His
The dark
attachment
saber, they handle that.
to
They handle
things.
that. They handle that so poorly. But
They
I mean,
handled that so predictably. It wasn't. It was. It, yeah. It was the execution was predictable. It wasn't necessarily poor, but it was predictable. Like she needed to beat the ever living crap out of Axe Woves, um, in order to establish her dominance and for her to get her mojo and her swag back. Like she needed to beat him in front of everybody to prove that. Because now she hasn't really had any problems with any of them. But you know, um, yeah, I think the armor might be the ops.
I'm on to
But I want to
something.
talk. I want to take it. I want to take it back to Bad Batch.
Oh
Um,
yes, I almost forgot.
yeah, we've. You know what? I would like to offer a formal apology to Bad Batch. Because we've gone pretty hard on it in the past. Like I think that I haven't gone as hard on it, but I know the rest of y'all have, and like I've been reluctant to bag on it because I like that animation style, of course, and I'm a fan of the story, but the first half of the season decidedly mid, but the second half
Oh,
of
let
the
me tell you.
bad of this season of Bad Batch. Oh my goodness. I don't think there's ever been a faster 180 in the history of animated television. This is a good show. Like it's a good show. Like
It's great.
I
It's
sit
better
there.
than I think it's better than
It's
season 3 of Mando right now. That's a hot take. I think it's better. I think
wow.
I
I
I
I,
enjoy it
I
more.
it
I
is
enjoy
I'm
it a
just about
lot
to say
more. I
it is
look forward to
7:17 Pacific Standard Time on Wednesday, April 12th, when David Lawrence just said that he enjoys Bad Batch, a show he previously called The Mid Batch, over Mando season 3. I
I
just want to I just want
it did
to make sure
enough.
that's documented.
It had enough.
You know what? You're gosh darn right it did.
There were enough episodes to where the filler stuff made sense, but like I'm not okay. I'm just so sick of this formula of we're going to release one or two amazing episodes at the start. In the middle, there's going to be one episode that you could say is like filler, but like, okay, the episode after that, we're going to really start to pick up. And then that episode is just complete, utter dog shit. Terrible. And then the second to last episode comes out, and it's the best thing they've ever made. And then everybody goes, see? See, this is what you gotta wait. It's gonna be great. The next episode's gonna be amazing. And then the finale is the finale, whether it's amazing or good. And the finale is the best episode out of the rest of the show. And then everybody's just like, well, you just gotta wait. Okay. Well, with that logic, if you were to go, I don't know, if you were to go to a restaurant, you order a steak, you order potatoes, and you order a salad. You get the salad, and then you get the potatoes, and where's my steak? Oh, your steak's coming. Uh, I'd like the steak now, please. It needs to go with everything. Oh no, don't worry about it. Then you get the steak, and it's still freaking alive, moving around the plate. It's not even cooked all the way. And you gotta go take it back, and you gotta wait longer. You gotta wait a lot longer for them to cook it, and they come back. Oh, they overcooked it. Then they gotta take it out. It's just it needs like it's all over the place. This season has been all over the place of Mandalorian and with all these other shows. They're following this formula that I do not like. It is it's a terrible. They need to stop. Like I don't know what formula is worse, the Marvel formula or the Star Wars formula. But it seems like the only thing they can get right show wise are animated shows. And maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't bring people who direct the animated shows to put them and give them a limited live action series. It's just maybe that's not a good idea. Just maybe. I don't know. Just if the
Just maybe.
Mandalorian, if this season was 23 episodes long, okay, you want Jack Black, you want Lizzo, you want freaking Meg the Stallion, you want I don't know, you want Joe Biden licking his chocolate chip ice cream in the back. Go ahead.
That's so crazy.
Cool. That's fine. 23 episodes. You should stick that right in the middle. Go right ahead. That's what she said.
Wow.
But for an 8 episode season about Mandalorians, and we all thought this. What were the predictions of this season? Oh, they're gonna retake Mandalore. Bo's gonna
They're gonna
tame the
retake
Mythosaur,
Mandalore.
or
Then
Grogu's gonna tame the
yeah,
Mythosaur, and they're gonna. None of that's happened. None of this has happened. Din has become a complete and utter posh boy, and freaking Bo Katan is like the star of the show, which is great. I'm not complaining. Just like I don't understand. And now we have one episode left. There's a bunch of storylines
I,
you have
I'm
to wrap
I'm
in one
still,
episode.
they don't have to wrap them because there's still 1 to 2 more seasons of Mando left.
I think at this rate, there's gonna only be one more. I mean, jeez.
I
But
mean,
I feel like
you're right, but I say 1 to 2, but like it's really probably just gonna be one.
I feel like they need
But
to
at the
wrap
same
up.
time,
I feel like they need to wrap up a lot of these stories soon. And also, I didn't like the fact that
they
Jon
do.
Favreau was literally like, "Yeah, we don't have an end game here. We just keep writing, and wherever this takes us, it'll take us." Like, no, I don't like that. You need a beginning, a middle, and an end. You need a
See,
definite
that's
beginning,
that's
middle,
why I'm
and end.
saying. That's why I'm saying 1 to 2 because I think season 4 is going to focus on them retaking Mandalore or like because they're not going to get rid of Moff Gideon. They're, like Moff Gideon was clearly hiding on Mandalore for a while.
Well, he's got to.
Like
Something's got to happen to him though.
he was
Like,
set he was set up. He was in there chilling. He was in there vibing for 2 years. So that boy was chilling. Okay, but anyway, back to Bad Batch. Um like spoiler alert if you haven't seen the last episodes. I didn't
finale.
think oh, gorgeous finale. I didn't think they were going to kill anyone off. I didn't think they'd do it.
So
I
happy.
didn't think they had the balls to kill anyone off. And but the thing was, as soon as I saw who was getting character development, and as soon as I saw who like was getting a love interest, I was like, damn, they're gonna do my boy Tech so filthy.
And you already know they did.
They are going there, and they absolutely did. But you know what? He had a fantastic one-liner where he went out like a boss, saving his people, saving his family. He said, "Since when did we ever follow orders, cut the rope, and fell to a heroic death? R.I.P. to my guy Tech, otherwise known as Goggles, otherwise known as Brown Eyes. That man was carrying the entire season on his back with no rest from start to finish. I don't think I don't think aside from fives, and then I think
Echo,
Waxer, fives, Echo, and Waxer, because if Waxer dies on Umbara, I think Waxer. I think yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just Waxer. I think Boyle survives, but fives, Echo, and Waxer, those are the 3 clones whose deaths hit me the hardest. And Tech was right up there. I'm sitting in my swivel chair, right? My swivelly chair before work, mouth on the floor. Like my jaw is on the floor, and we are 5 seconds into the episode. Okay? My jaw is on the floor, and I can feel like a singular tear welling up in my left eye because I'm going, there's no
that meme of Patrick with his
Yeah.
jaw on the
yeah. Yes, literally, because I'm thinking to myself, there's no way. Like there's no way they have the balls to do this. Like they have to find a way to save him. They have to find a way to bring him back. Like there's absolutely no way. This is still a kid show. This still feels like a kids show. And that was the moment where it was no longer a kid show. Like the moment that, I mean, honestly, that wasn't the moment. It was the episode with Cody.
Yes.
That was a moment where it's no longer a kid show. Like that episode where it was no longer a kid show. Like the finale of season 1, you know, you still knew. You knew, okay, no one's gonna die in this finale. Like no one's gonna go out like that. Like it's not heroic enough, right? They're fighting the elements. They're not fighting like anyone palpable. But this season is when it flipped the switch.
This is
and
when the fun began.
Gosh, This is when the fun began. Yes, because gosh darn it, did they hit on that entire last half of the season? I've
Also,
never seen anything like it.
that was you.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. Yes, this was exactly. Yeah, this was me. Literally, I've never seen anything like it. They've never done anything this ballsy before. And you know what? Congratulations to them.
What are your
They
thoughts on
they did a heck of a job.
what are your thoughts on her being her having a sister, Omega having a sister?
I I saw it coming. And you know what? Of course, because they had to perfect. How else do you get perfect cloning? Better by making more clones.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, like this, that's how you get better. It makes perfect sense
And
because who
apparently,
better to work on clones than another clone?
apparently, season 3 for Bad Batch, it's gonna be the last season, um, which I think
Okay,
is
that
good.
you know what? That's
Three
fine.
seasons is
That's good.
perfect. Don't
Don't
draw it
draw it
out.
out. Exactly.
Apparently, there's Palpatine's heavily involved with the cloning. He's on Tantus. Fennec
Oh,
Shand,
jeez.
Boba Fett make a bunch of
They make appearances again.
appearances, and apparently there's another sequel character who is very influential on the fate of Omega. So,
Sequel character.
or an important, it said important sequel slash future um, character. I wonder if it maybe Phasma. I don't know. There could be.
No,
Then no,
no,
that's
no.
too early.
Phasma's
That's too
way
early.
too young.
That's too early.
Yeah, way too early. Phasma was a kid.
My I
Phasma was a kid at the Battle of Jakku.
yeah. I have no idea who it could be.
By the way, shameless plug. If you have not read the Aftermath trilogy, I highly
Was that
suggest
the
you
book
do.
you sent in the group chat?
No, the book that I'm getting to that too. Also, the book Shadow of the Sith by Adam Christopher. The Aftermath trilogy is by Chuck Wendig. Shadow of the
That's a
Sith is by
fucking
Adam
banger last
Christopher.
name.
I I really believe, like, if there's one thing Disney has gotten right, it's the books. Also, the High Republic books. I know this might sound like sacrilege to you, David, but the High Republic books have been nothing short of spectacular.
I'm
Like
I'm gonna read.
I've
I have a list of books that I want to read. The ones I want to read first. Master and Apprentice.
fantastic book. I read that one too recently.
Thrawn, the one of the
Yes.
first Thrawn book, and then Heir to the
Yeah.
Empire.
Yes.
I'll probably make my way to
Read
the
the
High
entire
Republic slowly but surely.
the entire Dark Fleet trilogy, or I think it's yeah, the entire Dark Fleet trilogy, Black Fleet trilogy. Read all of that.
Dark Fleet.
I think yeah, the Black Fleet trilogy. I think that's what it's called. I think those are the
Yep.
original Thrawn books.
But I want to read
Great
Heir to the
stuff.
Empire before Ahsoka comes out.
Yes.
But Master and Apprentice is the first book I want to read, just because freaking give me more Qui-Gon
And Obi-Wan. You find out why he hates flying. You literally find out why he hates flying.
exactly.
It's great.
So, I think it's safe to say there's a lot to look forward to, and there's also a lot of question marks in regards to future Star Wars
Yeah.
projects. Let's just hope that Kathy doesn't.
But hey,
pull
we're
Kathy
optimistic.
and- Kathy doesn't pull a Kathy and cancel half these shows slash movies.
I want Rogue Squadron back. I do.
I don't think it's,
I
I
want
don't think
Rogue
it's coming
Squadron
back.
back.
I don't think it's coming
It's
back.
not coming back, but I wanted it back.
I will-
Like, did you see how well Top Gun performed? Are you kidding me?
I will
A
make
Star
it,
Wars theme.
I will make it legal. They must bring
A
it back.
Star Wars themed Top Gun would be
That's-
insane.
That's all I want. Or just that thing you sent in the Instagram group chat, a 501st. Just rip the 501st journal out of Battlefront 2
Mhm.
and make that like a Band of Brothers themed
Movie.
show.
Yeah.
That would be freaking insane.
You don't even have to like you don't have it doesn't have to be about the main characters like Rex and Echo and all them. Like you can have them make cameos and stuff, but like you just
The casting.
there's so many
The
troopers.
casting is so easy. Just cast Tamura Morrison, and that's it. That's it. You don't need more than that. Unless you wanted to do more 501st Jedi Temple slaughter. Dude, I saw a thing on Instagram. It's been five years in a row now they've given us Jedi Temple.
Dude, they're just
66.
they're trying to hammer home how sad it was.
Bro, I look at it from a different angle now whenever I watch.
Yeah, because before, when you watch Revenge of the Sith, it's like, it's sad, but like it was always sad, you know. But now having seen all these episodes where you see other angles of the Jedi Temple massacre, you're just like, this is depressing.
Like when I
Like
was
this is
watching,
literally.
yeah, like when I was watching Revenge of the Sith this past Sunday with my girlfriend, I was like, oh my god, Grogu. I'm like and like that whole thing with Kelleran. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, that's all like happening right now, along with
Yeah, like do you know how lucky he is to have lived through that?
Can we talk about that too? Like Kelleran Beck, like that was
That was so
perfect.
sick.
But I'm just kind of pissed
That
that
was
that's
so.
all we got. Like I feel like we need. How did he get
We're gonna get
captured?
more.
How did probably
No,
not?
that's what I'm saying. We're gonna get more.
Probably in a different show, maybe or next season.
We're gonna we're gonna get more. We're absolutely gonna get more.
Thank God, because I wanted more.
Um,
I wanted more
yeah,
right
no, no,
then
no,
and
no,
there.
no.
I was not
We're we're
satisfied with the
we're,
abrupt ending.
we're gonna get more next season for sure.
Well, all
But you
right.
know,
This
it
was
is
a
what it is.
this was a rapid
This
fire
was this
episode.
was longer than I expected it to. This is longer than I thought I had time for. But you know what? I'm glad that I did have time for it.
We will discuss more in detail of the Ahsoka trailer and any and all other announcements in probably the next episode when we have more people on. Hopefully.
Yeah,
Um,
honestly, we if we have the time, you know, to run these like smaller episodes with just like 2 or 3 people, we can absolutely do more of that. I
I
think
can do it. Yeah.
it'd
I
be
just
good to
always
get
think it's good to
it'd be
have
good
like
to
at
get more
least.
content out.
I think it's good to have at least 3 people, but I'm game with whatever. Um,
Yeah,
all right. Well, you guys know the drill. Like and subscribe. Hit that follow button too on Spotify. Please make sure you're following us on Spotify because I know some of y'all don't like the
absolutely,
YouTube
absolutely.
format, and YouTube can be kind of poopy caca. So follow on
Yeah.
Spotify, Instagram. All the links will be down in the description below. And until then, y'all have a good night and
May the
peace
force
off.
be with you
May the
all.
force be with you. Adios.